Well, hi everybody. It's Meal Prep Sunday and I'm here with Dexter. He's my little kitchen companion. Yeah? You excited? Yeah, we're just sharing everything that we made for the week. Oh, here we go. He's really into standing right now. That's his thing. He always wants to stand. So I think someday we're going to be good kitchen buddies because you're always going to want to hang out with me, right? Yeah. All right. So anyways, Dexter just wanted to come in and say hi. Ugh. And he really likes pulling on my hair. Oh, and I forgot his most exciting news. Are you excited too? Yeah, he cut his first tooth the other day. Did you guys see that picture? Are you excited about it? Yeah? Means more food coming soon. We actually don't know what we're going to try this week. No? You have something to say about it? Yeah. Is that you in there? Who's that baby? No, he's more entertained by the pup and the husband, I guess. All right, you ready to go over to Dad? Yeah? Oh, wait, we gotta wave. We got somebody on live. Say hi, Karen. Hi. Oh, got a little drool coming out, too. Oh, she says hello. Hey? Hey? Let's be real. That's why everybody joins the lives, right? To see Dexter? Say hey. Hey. All right, well, we should go so everybody can see what our fun new content's about today. Maybe, ooh, wow, he really screwed up my hair there. Oh, well. So anyways, happy Meal Prep Sunday. You'll probably hear him chatting in the background. I am here to tell you all about what we made today and also some upcoming content that I was, I guess, inspired about yesterday. Okay, so first I'm gonna show you our breakfast. This actually worked really well for us last week. So instead of making, oh, apparently eggs in the, or hair in the eggs is gonna be the new trend. So anyways, wow, cannot get good hair there. All right, so last week this worked out really well for us. So instead of me making my own egg bake plus making eggs in on the stove top for the husband, I made this because remember I had a pan that I had accidentally sprayed the wrong size and I was like, oh, I don't want to like wash this for no reason. So I just was like, hey, can I make just one big egg bake? And he was like, sure, I don't care. This worked out super well. It works like you just cut it based on the size that you need. And we did onions in ours, by the way. That's why there's like, I don't know, spirals. Okay, but we just cut it into the sizes that we need for our breakfast sandwiches. And then that's it. It's already done and it's perfect. So anyways, this worked out well for us. Let me know if you try it. But all I do is I put in the vegetables that we want. I whisk some eggs with a little bit of plain Greek yogurt. You could do milk. You could. Somebody the other day said water works really well. I don't know, but I use the Greek yogurt because one time somebody told me that sour cream makes them the most fluffy. So I thought, well, I use non-fat plain Greek yogurt for sour cream, so I'm gonna try this and I don't know, works well. It's extra protein if nothing else. So anyways, that worked out super well for breakfast last week, and now I've done it again. All right, second is what we're having for lunches this week. So remember, we just make one lunch and we eat it all week. That is our preference. If you are not somebody that likes to do that, you can still make one thing like what we did, but you could always put each, like this is a casserole, you can put each section into individual containers and freeze them. And so you have kind of a rotating selection of lunches. You just have to remember to get it out of the freezer the night before you want it. Okay, so what I made this week, it looks like a pile of red stuff, but it's actually a cheesy nutrition recipe, and it's enchilada lasagna. So I use our own homemade enchilada sauce, which the recipe is on cheesynutrition.com if you're interested in trying your own homemade enchilada sauce. It's a lot easier than you'd think. And can you see the layers in there? There's a lot of cheese, there's some beans, there's some meat, and there's some peppers and onions. And oh, and tortillas. But other than that, you just throw it all in and bake it. It was super fast. Even faster because I already had the taco meat cooked and ready to go from last week. So I just defrosted it and I threw it in. Oh, the beans were done too. Because remember a couple weeks ago I made that huge thing of beans and then I put it in little individual serving size containers and then, yeah, I just threw it right in. That's all. You'll notice that the recipe on cheesynutrition.com actually has refried beans in there, but I didn't have any. I had frozen cooked black beans, so that's what I threw in. I feel like I'm getting a look from the husband right now. Oops. Now he knows the secret, but he's had it before and he'll eat it, so it's perfectly fine. All right, I'm doing a couple different things this week, all right? If you saw my story like 30 minutes ago, you saw that I was making burgers, right? So normally I make, oh, they smell really good. Normally I make burgers in my big electric skillet, which you saw. But when I make burgers, I normally will chop up like onions and bell peppers and jalapenos, and I mix them in with the meat before I cook them. It's a great way to get in extra vegetables. But this time we have some ground meat that my dad actually ground himself, and he added bacon and jalapenos right in there, which by the way is fantastic. But we don't need anything else added. They're super flavorful as they are, and so I just cooked them as is. And so we have 8 little patties from 20 ounces of ground meat, and we're ready for the week with those. To go with them, I made for myself just some roasted sweet potatoes. I actually didn't add any seasoning. I think if I have like a favorite seasoning blend for these, it's a combination of cayenne and cinnamon, but I didn't because I don't know, it just sounded like a lot of work at the time. So I didn't. I just made a roasted sweet potatoes. No biggie, totally good. All I did was throw them in the oven. I already had the oven on, so I just threw them in. And you guys know, if you've been watching me a while, Grandma always says, if you got the oven on, just throw in more stuff. So I did. But no, I planned on making those this week. All right, next, let me show you this first. We are actually going to be cooking during the week for 2 different things this week. So this is not something I do a lot because that's not how I prefer to do our meal prep. I prefer to do pretty much everything on Sunday and then just be able to kind of reheat or finish cooking, I guess, on the weekdays because I just like having more free time on the weekdays. But what we're having is one of our favorites. It's gnocchi, and you can make your own gnocchi. It's actually pretty quick and easy, but this is even quicker and easier, and it's only a couple bucks, so I figure why not. But all we do is we start with cooking some Italian sausage. You can see I got mine on sale. Thank you, Winn-Dixie. But I got some ground, nope, it's not ground. I guess it is inside, but I got some Italian sausage links because these were actually really cheap. So what I do is I just take them out of the casing when we're ready to make it, and then it is essentially ground at that point, right? So I go ahead and I cook that. When it's almost done, if there's a lot of grease, I take it out. These don't seem to have a lot because they are more fresh ground versus like the pre-made stuff that you get that's like already, I don't know. This is made in store, okay? So when that's almost done, I toss, well, half of these in. We have half at one night and then half another night. But I toss them in so they get just a little bit of the sausage grease on them, which sounds really disgusting, but it just helps toast them a little bit. And then once you toast them for a few minutes, I add in a bag of frozen peppers and onions. If you don't shop at Walmart, you don't have to buy this brand. There are name brand ones. There's probably also other store brands, but this is a 20-ounce bag. I like to put in a ton of veggies. So I'll put half one night and half the next night. And then this is our favorite tomato sauce that we like to use if I don't make my own. So it's the spicy one, which honestly is not spicy at all, but that's because we have a high spice tolerance. So I definitely add more red pepper flakes. And if Grandma's watching, no, I'm not adding a half cup per recipe. Don't do that, friends. It's not good. It is not good. The last thing I do is once that's pretty much all cooked, meaning like it's heated through, the peppers are not melted, I almost said melted. Peppers are defrosted and cooked and heated through. The sausage is obviously done, and the gnocchi are ready, I guess. I add on cheese. I've already cubed up mozzarella, and yeah, there's a lot, because hello, it's cheesy nutrition for a reason. Oh, the child over there is enjoying the cheese discussion. Anyways, I use half of this per recipe, so it's actually really cheesy. You'll see a story coming soon. But it's super cheesy and it's super delicious. And honestly, I could leave out the sausage in my personal opinion and just have the cheese, but you know, we got others in the house eating too. So anyways, that is our, second dinner that we're having this week. The third one, I'm also cooking. Now, this is something that I've never done before, but I have a great friend who taught me how to make my own dumplings. All right, so they're just pork and some seasonings and soy sauce and shredded sort of carrots. I think she put them in like a quick processor type thing. But anyways, and then dumpling wrappers. And so she taught me how to fold them and she taught me how to cook them. And so we are eating these this week for dinner and I'm pretty excited because I've never made them. But she said that they're great because you make them in bigger batches and then you just bring them out when you want them. So I guess prep up front takes a bit because, you know, you've got to individually fill and fold each one. But when you're ready to cook them, it's super easy. Like I literally just pulled it out of the freezer. I'm gonna put it back in the freezer actually because you cook them from frozen, but I wanted to show you. So they're done. Ta-da! And guess what? It's Asian food. And if you know me well, the Asian food does not usually go very well for me. But she taught me and she actually did the mix. So I know it's fantastic this time. We'll see next time though. With them, hold on, there we go. We're gonna have one of our favorite veggie blends and you can see it sort of, it's a little shiny there, but it's an Asian medley. And I will say it does have, okay, can you see here? It does have some sodium, as you can see. It's not like a crazy amount, but it does have some. So you can tell it's not just plain frozen vegetables, which actually you could tell because it says seasoned. That should be a clear indicator there, okay? But anyways, when you buy frozen vegetables, if you were trying to cut down on sodium or calories or whatever, if you start with the plain ones, you can control exactly what you put in them. For this one, it already has seasoning and it probably has some oil. I could be wrong. Yeah, it has some oil already. Actually, it has sugar too. Okay, well anyways, it already has things added, meaning that I can't really remove them. I might be able to like rinse it off, but then why did I buy this? So if you are somebody who is watching those things, go for a similar blend of vegetables, but without seasoning, without the flavor, and then you can dress it up the way that you want so that you can control it. That also takes a little longer. So if you're saving time, this is definitely a lot easier. All right, last but not least, yesterday, my mom sent me this picture. It was a printed cookie recipe, and she said these are the best cookies I've ever made, which is crazy because she's an amazing baker. And she was even in the Pillsbury Bake Off, if you didn't know that. But amazing baker. She said these are the best. And so I was like, oh, great. Okay, that's fantastic. And then last night, I was relaxing. Amazing how you can do that with a 6-month-old sometimes. And I was thinking, oh, I really want a cookie now. And I kept looking through Pinterest at these one serving recipes for cookies and mug cakes. And I'm like, I just want this darn cookie that she told me was the best. So instead of dealing with making some sort of mug cake that I didn't know if it would turn out or whatever, I made the darn cookies today. All right. So this is what they look like. They're a chocolate chip. They're supposed to be walnut. I used pecan because that's what I had in the freezer available. But chocolate chip and pecan cookie. And technically the recipe is supposed to make 8 giant cookies, but I would have probably eaten 6 giant cookies if I had made 8 giant cookies. So I made them smaller so that way we can maybe freeze a few. The husband can take them to work this week. You know, like we'll just kind of nibble on them. Unfortunately, Dexter is sad he doesn't get one because we haven't tested these little foods yet, or these ingredients, but someday. Anyways, so I made these fantastic cookies. So I guess if you want the recipe, you can DM me and ask me for it and I can send you the picture. But they're delicious. They really are. I definitely tested one and they're fantastic. So let me just show you this. So I actually did a combination of chocolate chunks. So I took a dark chocolate bar and I chopped that up. And then I also did some semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then I did the pecans and I did her little tip. And instead of leaving them roughly chopped, I actually used my manual food processor and I ground them not to like a flour consistency. And it definitely didn't turn into like nut butter. It was just very ground. Okay, so nah, I don't know. It's just more than what you buy when you buy it in the pieces. Okay, but oh, they're so good. You gotta check this out. Look at the inside of those cookies. Can you see a little blurry there? Ah, They're so good. Mmm. Like my mouth. Okay. All right. So anyways, these cookies are fantastic. We are certainly going to enjoy them this week. And I'm going to show you something that is kind of a cool trick that you can do when you are making cookies and you end up with like a little bit of extra dough and you don't eat the dough. I mean, if you eat the dough, I won't judge. Okay, I definitely had a little piece. But what I did was I scooped out the last 6 little dough balls here and I put them in my freezer on a plate, and wow, glass gets cold, imagine that, in your freezer. So I just put them in the freezer as is, okay? You don't want to leave them there long term because they're going to get freezer burnt a lot faster. But you can see here there are cookie balls and they are pretty frozen. Oh, they're stuck to the plate a little. There we go. Okay, so they're pretty frozen. You can't hear that, but there we go. So they're pretty frozen already, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in a freezer Ziploc or a freezer safe container, and then when I want just one cookie, like I did last night, I can get them out, and I have oh my gosh, can't talk, a Pampered Chef air fryer, which also doubles as like a toaster oven, and I think I'm just gonna try popping one in there sometime and seeing how that turns out, because I can make it set kind of like an oven. I can set it at 350 degrees and I can set my timer. I just can't preheat unless I like do a cycle first with nothing in there. So I don't know, might try it sometime, but even if you put them in a regular oven, they're already ready to go. So that's easy, right? Now I don't have to make cookies a second time. So if your mixer has enough in there that you could do a double batch. Oh yeah, so Shelby said it totally works. I've tried it with cookies. Well, great. So it's good to know. You can actually cook these in your air fryer if you've got one. But anyways, so you can also just preheat the oven and you can pop them in just like you would normal cookies. And they're not gonna stick together in the freezer because they're frozen. That's why you pre-freeze. Because if you just put them in there like, you know, in a Ziploc, like, oh, here's a scoop, they're all gonna be one big clump. So when you go to bake them, you're gonna have to like defrost them and then probably reform them. And, you know, sounds like the baby is really upset that he doesn't get a cookie this week. Someday, dude. All right, so anyways, that's my tip for the day. And somebody yesterday that I was talking with, I had this brainstorm based on what they were talking about. They said, Kara, one of the main issues I have with meal prep that I would love for you to solve for me. Okay, I sort of added some words there, but they wanted to know how can they decrease the dishes that they have when they're meal prepping. Because they said, sure, I can get done cooking and I feel great, and then I look over and I've got this sink full of dishes and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I just cooked for however long. So I'm going to create some content that can show you how you can minimize the dishes while you're meal prepping. So if you are interested in that, then hit me up with a DM that says dishes, and once it's ready, I will make sure that you are the first to get it, okay? All right, so great, warmed a little too, just saying. Oh, the cookies. The cookies are great when you warm them up a little. Sounds like they might make a good little ice cream sundae. Okay, all right, so I think I showed you everything for this week. I told you my tip about the cookie dough, and also remember, if you want that new content when it comes out about decreasing your dishes while you're meal prepping so you can be done even faster, hit me up with a DM that says dishes or a comment. Either one. I'll respond to either, okay? Just say dishes and it's yours. And oh, can we bring the baby back? Baby back, baby back, baby back. Baby's up. Let's see the baby. Baby. Whee! Here we go. Oh. He's like, I don't know what's going on now. This isn't part of the script. You told me I was only going to be in here at the beginning, and now I'm here again. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to need extra payment. Yeah? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You tell them. Hey? Hey. He's getting close, right, guys? Oh, all right, we're kicking the glass. He wants a burger, apparently. All right, everybody, have a wonderful Sunday. No, the burgers are not for you. Oh, and we stepped on the frozen vegetables. Hot mess over here, but we're having fun. All right, everybody, have an awesome Sunday. Uh-huh, and a great start to your week. And we all, yep, that's it. I can't be cuter than this. All right, see you guys next week.